Good evening, everybody. Myself, Aradhya Kumar. Now I am going to read a topic called Adventure in Andamans. What I am about to tell you happened many years ago. I was just a young boy, and the Andaman Islands were my vacation playground every summer. Manav, please don't go into deep. My mother shouted from her spot on the beautiful sunny beach. Yes, mother, I replied. I loved the beach and the ocean was home to me. When I used a snorkel, I pretended I was entering a secret world filled with mysterious creatures. That morning, I floated on my back for a while, enjoying the warm sunlight, and then I dipped my head under the water again. The next moment, I felt something touch my shoulder. A turtle! A teeny turtle! I shouted to myself through my bulky mask. I followed him through shoals of teeny fish and hundreds of other glorious rainbow colored fish. As I allowed myself to glide gracefully next to the teeny turtle, I felt his flipper touch my hand. I stayed close and the two of us swam together in a watery dance. Eventually, I decided to put my head above the water to clear my max while Teeny crunched on some green seaweed. I looked back at the beach. My mother will be worried, Teeny. I have to go, but I will be back tomorrow, okay? It's hard to explain, but I think Teeny smiled at me. I didn't tell anyone about my turtle, and that night I dreamed about Teeny showing me the whole ocean. The next morning, I almost dragged my parents to the beach and then quickly wore my rubbly flippers and wobbled into the clear blue water. Be careful, Manav, called my mother as usual. Of course, mother, I replied as usual. I swam out to a safe depth and then waved to my parents. When I reached my usual area near the big black rocks, Teeny was waiting. My heart missed a beat as she smiled at me again and then asked me to follow him. Not with words, of course, but I just knew. And then Teeny took me on a magical journey. We swam together through giant coral reefs, slithered alongside slimy eels, and saw thousands of starfish resting on a rock. But Teeny saved the best until last. Basking in the reflections of summer sun, I discovered a whole family of turtles. This was Teeny's family. I was dizzy with excitement, and after a few moments, I thought it was best to thrust my head out of the water and get some fresh air. Then, as I plunged down to join Teeny, I nearly choked as I saw him frantically twisting and turning in a section of fishing net, a silver hook planted firmly in his back left leg. Wait, Teeny, I cried. I will help you, but you have to trust me. Teeny held perfectly still, but I could see the pain in his eyes. My hands were shaking, but soon I gently pulled the hook free and net came away easily. Teeny was safe. I gathered the net as I didn't want any other turtle getting caught. I suddenly realized I had been away from the beach for quite some time. So I waved to the turtle family and rose to the surface. I have never been so shocked or frightened in my life. The beach seemed so far, and my parents were just teeny little dots. Tears pricked my eyes as I kept moving my hands and feet. They felt as if they were made of iron. Teeny, I cried, I am so tired and the beach is so far away. I simply cannot swim back. Suddenly, I found a huge turtle beneath me. I gently reached down to hold the edge of her shell, and she started to move slowly. I held my breath, and we soon started moving through the water easily. I found that Teeny followed us too. This was a ride I would never forget. I spotted my parents pacing up and down the shore by the time I got close. As soon as it was shallow enough for me to stand, Teeny and the big turtle swerved away. I stood on shaky legs, and as I looked back, Teeny poked his head out of the water and gave me one final smile. That was the last time I have ever saw Teeny, but it was the best day of my life. I told my parents what had just happened to me and even showed them the net, but they just thought I have been playing imaginary games. I still have that net today, but I have never told anyone else my story. I knew nobody would believe ever me, except maybe you. Okay, so this was the story, and you know a fun fact. I have also visited Andamans, and whenever I read this story, I have the visuals of Andamans. So this is the beauty of Andamans. Thank you. Have a nice day, and tata bye bye. Subscribe my channel.